Wow.
He said we are live.
Let's go with the ayah since we don't have questions. Uh, Today we're going to go over ayah number 254, Surah Al-Baqarah, which is Surah number 2. Ayah number 254 starts on the subject of spending, to spend in the path of Allah. So the ayah says, "O you who believe, spend from what we have provided for you." I want you to pay attention to the word spending from, not spending what we have provided for you. If the text says spend what, it means all of it. But it says spend from, which means some of, not all of what we have provided for you. Am I going too fast for you?
You're fine.
Okay. Then it says, before a day comes when there is no sale, there is no selling, there is no friendship, and there will be no intercession. Intercession means if, for example, I need something from your mom and I want your help. So could you please tell your mom to forgive me? Could you please tell your mom I will pay my $100 debt later on? That's called intercession. What you will do will be called intercession. Okay? So again, the ayah says, "O you who believe, spend from what we have provided you before a day in which there is no sale, there is no buying, there is no business, and there is no friendship, and there is no intercession." This is in reference to the day of judgment, because on the day of judgment, you cannot exchange your sins for anything else. And nobody can take your hasanat for any payoff. Your record is yours, and nothing will change. And intercession, to intercede on behalf of someone, will only be happening and allowed to people that Allah chooses and approves. For example, prophets will be allowed a level of intercession to their communities and their followers. Martyrs will be allowed intercession to some of their family members. Righteous people, like let us say scholars, teachers, can be allowed to intercede on behalf of their students and followers, if they themselves are accepted by God. So the meaning in this ayah is nothing of the connections or transactions we have in this life and we rely on in this life, we depend on in this life, no relationship will help in the hereafter. Like for example, in this life, if you have a store and I am your friend and I know somebody is poor, I can intercede and give you a call and say, please give him what you have at a discount. Or I trust him to pay installments. So please sell it to him on installments. That will be called intercession. Those relationships in this life are not going to be helpful on the day of judgment. On the day of judgment, this ayah is saying only what you advance for yourself will stand to speak for you and intercede on your behalf. Then the following ayah, before we go to the following ayah, the conclusion here, it says, وَالْكَافِرُونَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Those who disbelieve, deny, and reject the message, they are the wrongdoers. Those who deny Allah, as if the ayah is actually saying that not spending from what Allah has provided you amounts to denial, a form of denial, a form of kufr, K-U-F-R, a form of kufr. That is called the denial of the blessings of Allah. So Allah gives me so much wealth and money. I keep it to myself. I keep it for my children, but I don't help anybody. That would amount to a denial that this is a gift from Allah that could have been given to someone else. And Allah is saying this kind of lack of gratitude and acknowledgement of the blessings of Allah is wrongdoing itself. It is unjust and unfair. Why is this? Why does Allah order us to spend from what He provides? Behind that order are a set of principles we need to understand. Number one is that Allah is the provider. Whatever we have is a gift of His. Whether we think it's little or much, it is all a gift from Him. So the one who gives tells you how to use His gift. And if you do not use it accordingly, you are in violation of being a creature of His and in violation of accepting Him as the source of blessings, the source of the bounties you have. So all what you have of gifts comes from Allah. And that means we do not actually own our money in the absolute meaning of the word, in the literal meaning of the word. And what I mean by this is we are only stewards, keepers, managers of these resources, but we are not absolute literal owners. The owner is Allah, and He is entrusting us. He is giving it to us as a trust for a certain period to be used for certain objectives and for certain goals. So the money or any provision that Allah gives us, like our health is a gift, our body is a gift, our soul is a gift. So everything we have of a blessing is a gift from Allah, and we need to learn what does Allah want us to do with this gift. So because He is the ultimate owner and creator and giver, He has the authority and the right to tell us how to use, even how much to use for ourselves and how much to use for others. So in the hadith of the Prophet, in the prophetic traditions, the Prophet, peace be upon him, says that anyone who has extra money, he must turn it to the benefit of those who don't have it. Anyone who has an extra ride, he must offer it to ones who don't have a ride at all. Anyone who has extra food, he has to provide for those who don't have any. The companion uh, communicating the hadith to us says the Prophet kept counting several types of gifts and blessings until we understood that no one has any right in anything extra that he or she has. What is extra? Extra means what is beyond your basic needs. So if I have enough food to sustain my health, then any other food above that is extra. If I have a car and the car has 4 seats and I have other people going in my direction, those 3 seats ought not to be kept empty. I should offer the ride to those who don't have a car, especially if they are stranded in the rain or cold or heat, especially if they are in need of someone, like they have a child with them or they are too old to go through the trouble. So we have to look after each other. This is what spending is about. For example, I have an extra hour in my time. I should spend that time to the benefit of those who don't have time and they need my help to get something done, for example, for the community. So I need to volunteer. You see, the concept of spending then is a broad concept. It is not just limited to money, as many people think it is. Okay, so why does Allah order us to spend? Because this is the strongest way to do 2 objectives. Number 1, to prove to Allah and to yourself that you trust Allah more than you trust the money in your pocket or the money in your bank or anything else He has given you. You trust that He will replenish it. So you don't act stingy. Stingy means miserly. Because you are afraid He will not replenish it for you. So the Prophet says that spending in charity is a proof of faith. The other purpose spending serves is that spending goes directly to your credit for the hereafter. It's like advancing credit to your own record with Allah. So what you spend in the path of Allah, and sometimes spending doesn't mean that you totally forfeit what you have. Maybe you could loan someone something that they need. That also counts as spending, even though you will get it back. Because if this person, for example, dies, you wouldn't be able to get your money back. But if he lives and he brings it back, your help counts as spending for the sake of helping someone, which goes to your credit. So the ayah is trying to bring to our attention the concept of money, the concept of Allah being the owner and the resource, and the concept of us being stewards, trustees, that we are here to only manage all of our resources, time, health, money, and all other gifts. And the Quran is saying, manage it only according to what is in your best interest. What is in our best interest is to use it judiciously, means in justice and with wisdom.
This is a waste.
You don't waste it, and you do not spend thrift, and you don't spend extravagant. Don't be miser with your family, but don't be extravagant. Some people, they buy things because they are throwing things they have bought later before. So I buy more grocery than I need. I put them in the refrigerator. And then a week or 2 or 3 go by and I have not used it. And it spoils. I throw it and buy and replenish and do the same thing. I will be asked about what I am throwing away. Or I cook more than what the family consumes. And then I put the rest in the refrigerator and nobody wants to eat leftovers. Then we throw the leftovers and we do not extend a helping hand to our neighbors. That will be a subject of responsibility and accountability because it's a waste that could have gone to the help of someone else. This also brings another implicit concept that many people do not pay attention to regarding resources, money, and spending, which is if Allah gives you more than your needs, it means the extra you get is meant for some people around you who don't get that much or may not get it at all because they are unemployed, handicapped, or sick, or for any reason. Okay? So if a woman is pregnant and her husband traveled and she doesn't have resources and she cannot really work, somebody has to look after her and her other children until the husband comes back. If a person is sick and he cannot go to work and his wife and children are homebound, then who's going to look after them? Anyone in the community. So Allah provides for those people through us. So the rich person is only rich because Allah wants him or her to give what is extra to those kinds of people. So the primary principle here is not all what you get is actually for you. Some of it is for others around you. And you have to seek them out and not wait until they come and ask and beg. But at least if they come and ask, never turn them down. But even if you don't have the resources, at least don't rebuke them or insult them or hurt their feeling for asking for their right. So this is what this ayah is trying to tell us, ayah number 254. And inshallah, next time we will go for ayah number 255. Ayah 255 is one of the most celebrated ayahs of the Quran. It's used for protection against the devil, protection against magic, protection against devil is whispering, and in fact, the devil cannot stay in a place where this ayah is recited. So I want you to go home and read ayah number 255 of Surah number 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, so that next week we are ready and we can even take some of your questions. But we'll explain it inshallah next time. Thank you very much.
He also does have one question.
Okay, that's the only one we'll take because I have to run.
All right. You're talking about zakat means helping the poor. Is that correct? And also number two, if I were to lecture someone and fundraise, if we're supposed to fundraise, are we also supposed to give other people the benefit as well as a profit for myself?
I didn't understand the second part of the question.
I think what he meant, number one is zakat. What does zakat mean? And second,
We'll explain zakat and charity. These are two separate issues. But the second part, I didn't understand. He says when we do fundraising.
If I fundraise
Yes.
for a cause or an issue,
Yes.
and we send a portion to the poor, and also if we save a portion to traveling as well, is that allowed? Or is that permissible?
If you're doing it for an organization, then the organization system has to govern how this money is to be spent. So a fundraiser cannot decide what to keep and what to give. Okay? Okay.
Second one, I think he meant that if a person is working hard to earn money for zakat, and that person also
the collectors of zakat, they get a share of the zakat. It's 1/8, provided that the rest is divided into 8 sources or 8 recipient groups.
Okay, now I understand that.
Okay? The difference between zakat and charity, voluntary charity, is that voluntary charity has no minimum requirement and has no upper limit, no maximum requirement. Zakat is a preset percentage of your savings, which is 2.5%. Okay? Charity, which is also called sadaqah in Arabic and Hebrew, can be given to families and friends. Zakat cannot be given to your heirs, people who inherit you.
Right, the most important people you give zakat to are the starving, the poor, the handicapped.
Yeah, the categories are mentioned in the Quran. This is my first time seeing her baby. Could you please tell her congratulations?
Thank you.
Okay, inshallah, next week.